Would you like an English name?
An English name?
Paddington.
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 Paddington?
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Hindsight, our brotherly nostalgia podcast. And today, I'm joined here with my brother Bryce. Say what's up to the people at home.
Hey, everybody.
And today, we're going to be talking about Paddington. Now, the reason I chose this movie was mainly on a whim because the new Wonka film is coming out, and it's also directed by the same director, Paul King. And I wanted to consume these Paddington movies because I just, for whatever reason, haven't done it yet. And I've heard such great things about these movies, specifically the second one, which is like widely heralded as one of the greatest movies of all time or something like that. So I think we're going to do a nice back-to-back watch of Paddington and Paddington 2. So for this episode, we're just going to be talking about Paddington. And another reason this is like a more newer movie is because something that you'll learn as we do more episodes about of this show is that my brother here doesn't watch a lot of movies. So I think I would like to use this show as an excuse to, force him to watch some of my favorite movies or some films that I know that he would love because why not? Gotta get him in somehow.
All right, a little put on the spot here.
I mean,
yeah.
Am I wrong?
I mean, no, but like I could say the same about you. Is hey, you don't play nearly as many games as me, so like it balances out.
I guess. I think the time investment's rather different. I don't think it's a valid comparison, but
No, but I
I
still play a wider
digress.
variety.
I digress. I play a wide variety of games, but let's not get off topic here. Let's talk about Paddington. So, what did you know about this movie before watching it?
I think it was based off a book. I went in fairly blind.
Okay,
know?
okay. I don't know if it was based off a book or not. I know it has some relevancy to London. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not even gonna speak on something I don't know. But the movie came out in 2014, and as I stated earlier, it is directed by Paul King. He directed this one and the second one, and he's currently directing Wonka, which will be released in like 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm excited to see that. So to talk about the movie Paddington, since me and you both haven't seen this, and this isn't a nostalgia viewing, it's not us, revisiting something that we've seen in the past. This is kind of like a more proper review. We both don't really have any impression outside of, I know me going into it, I've heard great things about both movies, specifically the second one. So I had a high expectation in terms of like, okay, what are we getting into here? What's this legendary movie that has like a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes or something like that? So I'm like, let's see what this movie's about. And I gotta say, I really liked it. I liked it quite a lot. There's a bit of a nostalgia factor in the movie, shockingly, even though it doesn't really have anything specifically I'm nostalgic for. Like as far as Paddington, the character goes, I don't really know anything about him, but this style of movie is very nostalgic to me because it's when you really look around at movies that come out nowadays, there's not really anything like this anymore. Like if you go back to like the mid 2000s or early 2000s even, there were tons of movies that were kind of like this. But this movie kind of does it in a way that's pretty like well made from a filmmaking aspect. And that's why I was like, oh, this is actually like a really good movie. Like when I would think of movies like these, I would think of like something like Dr. Dolittle. Now, I'm not going to trash on Dr. Dolittle. Like I enjoy a good Dr. Dolittle, all right? But if we're being real, from a filmmaking perspective, it's not the greatest movie in the world. And that's not to say that Paddington's like perfect or anything like that, but it has the hallmarks and structure that you would come to expect from a well-crafted movie. There's arcs, and each character has, certain aspects of their arcs that reach a conclusion towards the end, and it's nice and wrapped up with a neat little bow. And I thought they did a pretty damn good job. How did you feel about Paddington?
I felt like it was, a really, really good. I don't want to like specifically classify as a children's movie, but it definitely is directly aimed at children. But it was really just a fun kind of silly adventure movie. Um, there's
No, I
tons of like
agree.
really fun elements that like kind of reminded me of like 101 Dalmatians a little bit, with the main villain being someone who has like an unrealistically like devoted hatred of this like childish like friendly character. Like I don't know. It was a good movie though. Really liked it.
Yeah. What did you think of Paddington specifically, like the character? I thought he reminded me a lot of like Stuart Little, but like I don't know, like that type of character I just really like he has proper perfect manners and he's just the most like straight up guy.
No, he was great. I loved him. He's just so innocent, so like oblivious to everything, and just stumbling his way into like some really like fun situations. I loved it.
Yeah. His voice is nice too. I think this movie has a lot of charm to it. And there's this thing with a lot of British films that it's hard to pinpoint, but I just always refer to it as like a British charm that is like just in a lot of movies. And it's not like the movie is like doing anything to necessarily like, lean into it. It's just like I don't know. It's like this is like Stuart Little but British. Like that's like how I look at it. But like it being British adds a lot of charm to it, and I have no like attachment to British culture at all. So like it's not like these things mean anything to me. It's just like I don't know when the characters are speaking with the accents and you got people calling each other blokes and all this stuff. I just find that like in a weird way like kind of charming. I don't know why. I don't know if you feel the same way about that, but I definitely did.
I do, but probably not to the same extent. Like it's cool, and it definitely adds. I do like the that kind of. I don't want to say like setting. That feels right, 'cause it's a real place. It's not like it's like a fictional place.
I
You
think
know. It's,
setting works. Like
yeah, it actually does work. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like Harry Potter. It's like I remember when I was younger and I was watching Harry Potter. I think I was like probably one of the earliest exposures to people that talk like that. So like I don't know. I can't recall ever watching those movies and like being put off by it. I think it just kind of was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. These people have very different accents and they're using words I've never heard before in my life, and I don't know. It's not too different, so it just kind of hits in a different way. So I'm not really sure how to describe it, but Paddington has this really unique charm about it that is not often that you see in movies nowadays. And I think that's kind of why it hit like really hard for audiences when it came out, is just because this, cute little movie that, was I think coming out around the same time that like that dog shit Yogi Bear movie was coming out or something like that. Like around that time where like that was what you would expect from these movies that have like, oh, it's a live action, but we got this, CGI creature that's hanging out or whatever. And what I like about this movie too is that all of the tropes, like the main ones, they kind of don't do. And I really appreciate that because, in most movies like these, it always plays out the same way. Yeah, the character or the family or whatever, they encounter this thing that can talk, and then they freak out and they do the thing where they're screaming, and he's like no, he's like he puts his hand over his lip and he's like, all right, I'm gonna take my hand off your lip and you're gonna stop screaming, okay? And then they nod and then they scream anyway. Like that thing it's like in every single one of these goddamn movies. And Paddington just like everyone just kind of is like, oh, he talks, that's cool. Like no one like really, I guess, looks at it in any weird or off-putting way. And I kind of appreciate that because it's like, okay, good, we could just move. Like the movie could just go. We get it. And it just kind of makes the world feel more like a cartoon in some aspects, or like, just more of this like whimsical, place as the whimsy, if that's
Yeah.
the way to put it.
But at the same time, it still does fall into some of the same tropes. It's kind of unavoidable. They do the thing
Yeah.
where they're introduced, and the parents are like, "Oh, I don't really know about this," and then they're like, "Oh, give him a chance," and then he's like doing something crazy off screen, and then
the bathroom
and then
one was one of the
yeah.
goddamn movie.
Yeah, there's that, and then it's like the family starts warming up to him. Then something happens. They overhear a conversation that, oh well, they don't want me, so then they go off on their own. But then that leads to the villain getting their chance, and that they always do that kind of setup, and it's not bad. I mean,
It's
Ain't
not.
broke, don't
It's
fix
the
it.
execution. Really, they execute it in a way that it's like I'm not mad at it. Like it's predictable, but it's not the bad predictable. It's like I see where we're going, but they're doing a good job, so I'm enjoying it. Like I could tell you, someone younger watching this, and this is like one of their first exposures to this type of story. I could see it really hitting hard for them, and they would actually be shocked by some of the twists and turns throughout the movie. But yeah, I think the only thing that's I guess kind of weak in the movie is the attachment to the family. I think the way it happens in most cases is a little quick. Like it just kind of happens really fast. And that's like the one thing that I'm like, I kind of wish it didn't go that way. Um, I guess we should like go more into the plot of the movie just in case, someone's like, wait, I haven't seen Paddington like X amount of years. So if you don't know, Paddington is a bear that comes from Peru. I
It's
think
like
they would
deep
keep
Peru,
saying the
the darkest
deepest Peru or
Peru.
darkest Peru.
Yeah.
Yeah, darkest Peru. And essentially his uncle and aunt, they encountered this explorer, this British explorer, and he comes and he kind of shows them, a bit of London culture, like what it's like where he comes from, and he leaves a pretty big impression on them, and they end up raising Paddington, who tragically his parents had died, and they straight up say like bring that up in the movie. I thought they were gonna keep it ambiguous as like if you're a bit older, you can insinuate that they probably died because he's hanging out with his aunts and uncle the whole movie. But the movie gets right into it. I mean, it starts right away with I think it was an earthquake that happens, and basically their whole home gets like decimated, and his uncle ends up dying tragically.
'Cause he
And
stood there and watched.
yeah, he died Man of Steel style. So
Shut
yeah,
up.
no, that's what happened.
Aw,
I mean,
Kent, no.
so after that happens, his aunt basically, says, "Hey, we got to get you out of here." So they sneak onto this boat, or well, she puts him onto this boat to go to London because one of the last things that the explorers said to them was like, in London there'll always be a home for you here or whatever. So, and she goes to like a nursing home or something like that, which is something that's paid off way later in the movie. When you hear that, you think, is she just gonna go die? Like, what is she talking about? Some like nursing home for bears? Okay, I guess. But nah, later on, you actually see that it actually is a nursing home that she actually goes to, which is kind of funny. But yeah, so the hat Paddington wears, I had no idea, but was the hat of his uncle. So it's like there's a traumatic past behind that hat that he wears.
Yeah, that's why he always keeps the sandwich in there, because his uncle
he
said, "Oh
keeps
yeah,
the
you
sandwich.
keep a sandwich."
Yeah. His uncle says a wise bear always keeps a bar, or no, not a bar, keeps
A
a
marmalade
marmalade
sandwich.
sandwich in his hat in case of emergency. So I wonder if that'll come back later. I don't know. Yeah.
It
So
comes back every 5 seconds.
yeah, it does. So he ends up getting off the boat and onto the train station, and it's here where he kind of realizes that everyone in London is they're about business. Like they're not trying to deal with this talking bear, which is kind of crazy. I would be all over this talking bear that's hanging out in the subway station. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And it's at this moment that he ends up meeting the family, which is Mary, that's the mother, and Henry is the father. I forget the kids' names. I keep forgetting their names, but Mary ends up taking an interest in like seeing what he's about. The dad, he's not trying to hear any of this shit. He's like, man, this damn bear, he's trying to sell us something. Like, why
Just
are
a
we wasting
crazy
time?
first instinct. You see a talking bear, he goes, "He's trying to sell me something." It's
Yeah.
like, dude, what? What
I
could
think
he
the dad's
have?
like probably my favorite out of the family members. I find his character pretty funny and interesting. But so the mom comes around and she's like asking him questions like, where did you come from, or like, where's your parents and things of that nature. And then he's telling him, or he's telling her like the sad story of what happened, and how he just needs a place to stay. So the mom, being all kind, she's like, He's like, oh, I got you, Paddington. I got you, Paddington. We'll set you up for a place for the night. And I really like this cool little touch where he's at the lost and found, and when she starts talking to him, the light on the found is like it's like off, and then it starts to flicker, and then it cuts on. I just thought that was really neat. Like I don't know, something about that. That's that whimsy. Like I was like, damn, this shit's charming. I don't know. It's something really neat about that. And there's a lot of little editing bits in this movie that are like that just kind of make it feel a bit more wholesome. Like it just feels kind of nice. This is like a good, lighten the mood type of movie to put on. And shortly after this, they take him home with them. Henry is not trying to have this, and they come up with a name for him on the fly. So when I went into the movie, I just assumed his name was just gonna be Paddington. Like I just thought they were just gonna give him that name, but no. So he gets the name because the mother sees like the train station name, and then she's like, "Oh, we'll just call you Paddington because." He's a bear, and bears have their own language, and his name is not even what's the word? Pronounceable? I don't know. By the human tongue. So they come up with the name Paddington. It was great.
When the dad tries to say it, he just goes, "That was very rude." It's just like, what did he say to you, man?
Rude. I really like how Paddington's face is animated. It's very like, I don't know. He's just cute. Like he's just really nice and cute.
I think he's some of the best CGI I've seen in one of these kind of movies.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it was really well done. Really, really well done. His animations are great.
Yeah, 100%. So, right after this is like at the diner or whatever. He brings him home for the night, and their house is really lovely. Like they have this like cool like stairwell up, and there's like this painted like tree that they play around with throughout the movie. Like I don't know if it's just representing the seasons or if it's just like, but anyways, it's like a cherry blossom tree, and then the leaves fall off, and then it blooms again at the end of the movie. Yeah, their house is just cool. I all these houses I feel like are just meant to make the kid that's watching the movie jealous, because I've never seen or met anyone in my life that has rooms as cool as what you see in these movies. Like, I mean, just the young daughter's room. Her room is like decked out with all this like extreme detailed like collages of photos all on her wall. The son has like all these like model toys and stuff all like throughout his room. It's like insane how, like, where are they getting the money for this? Like, how? Like, I wish I had even a fraction of, that amount of money to spend to deck out my room when I was that age.
Especially since like they're driving a station wagon. It's like,
yeah,
dude,
for real.
Where are you getting this from? But
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
So, it's around this point where they basically tell Paddington, like, yo, you need to go use the washroom, bro. Like, go clean yourself up. You need to start looking presentable. And at this point, Paddington doesn't have his, classic like jacket. He's just running around like kind of naked with the hat on. So he goes up to the bathroom. He doesn't even really know what a washroom is, so he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And he just starts kind of tinkering around with stuff. And this is one of those tropes that is in like all these movies where, and it's always the bathroom, but they go in the bathroom and like, oh, they tried to turn on the sink, and then the sink, I turned it too much, and now it's overflowing with water. Like, it's that sort of thing. So he ends up causing like a huge mess in the bathroom, and then that goes one way. And I'm not gonna lie, like, if I was the family or the dad, like after seeing what he did, I would be like, man, we gotta get him the fuck. Like at that point, I was kind of on the dad side. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't care how nice he is. Like that, this is gonna take
the water
weeks.
bill alone.
Yeah, like this is a liability. We can't have him around here like that anymore. But the mom has a really, really strong connection to him for some reason. I was thinking that maybe at some point they were gonna reveal that maybe she had ties to the adventurer or explorer that came to see him, but that didn't end up happening. It went a different route. So I never really quite understood why she was so like drawn or attached to him specifically and wanting to help him so bad. I didn't quite understand or see her reasoning behind that. I don't know if you could pull anything out of the movie that you may have saw.
Well, the only thing I could think of is because they show that flashback scene when the grandma's talking about how, oh, they used to be wild in their younger days, and it's just the dad becoming more, like I guess like he
Cautious.
overprotective, yeah,
Yeah,
and
that scene
cautious.
was funny as
So
hell.
yeah, no, that was great. But they also kind of hinted that later when like they're like trying to save Paddington near the end, and he's like, oh, I'll go out the window because a man has to do it or whatever, and she like gets super excited seeing that and they kiss or whatever. I feel like it's just she always like she never lost that like sense of adventure and excitement, and he did. So her seeing Paddington was just, oh boy, a chance to do something interesting again instead of just
Okay,
day to
I can
day.
see that. I can see it. That's a good nod. Good nod. That's one thing I really like. That's why I like the dad's character a lot because his arc is the most, I guess,
Defined.
realized. Yeah, like his, it's pretty cut and dry. Like you can clearly see where he started and where he ended up as two different characters. Whereas a lot of the other characters aren't much on that same level. Yeah, so after the bathroom is completely destroyed, the dad's like, "Yeah, we gotta get this bear the hell out of here. Like this shit is not working. We're gonna have to find him. Send him to some institution or something." I think the kid's like, "You're gonna send him to an orphanage?" And he's like, "No, we're gonna send him to an institution where you go to if you have no parents or something like that." And then there's a nice little bit with that there too. And so Paddington, he kind of he goes up to the attic because that's where they're having him sleep and he's writing letters to his aunt. And at the time, you don't really know, if she's getting these letters. He's just, writing it down. So you think it's like maybe he's just, journaling them or saving them for some, future moment where he'll get to mail them out to her. And I think it's around this point where the mother comes in and then she sees that he's kind of sad and she's like, well, how can we find, this explorer guy? And then he brings up that he gave him the hat and then she's like, oh, we could, take it to this person she knows that runs this like antique store. And she's like, he'll be able to find out where the hat came from or whatever. So that's the plan for the next day. So they go to this place and on the hat, there's like a symbol that is representative of like this old like guild. I think it's a guild, right, or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
the I forget what they call it. It's just something. It's not adventure or
It's something
geography.
to do
Yeah,
with the
yeah, it's
museum, I
something
think.
guild. Yeah, it's something guild. It's like geography guild or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then, so that's like their first little hint of like, okay, so we know, the guild that he's from. We just got to find, which specific person went on this expedition to Peru. So after that, we get this really, nice little sequence here where Paddington sees this one guy. This guy's like pickpocketing this dude, and he grabs the wallet, and then he drops the wallet like an idiot on his way out. And then Paddington sees they drop the wallet, and he's like, yo, he's like, you dropped your wallet, sir. And then he's
Dropped your
like,
wallet.
yeah, he's trying to like chase him and hand him his wallet. And as he's on the run for this guy, um, a bunch of stuff like happens where he ends up having like a police helmet on, and then he catches him, and then you see that this dude had like 20 wallets, and he's this serial pickpocketer. Cops arrest him. Paddington's put in the news, and now everyone's like, "Oh shoot,
Yo, he's
Paddington!
cool. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's real." And this is one of the arcs that's like super rushed. Is like the daughter character. She was kind of, it was very typical. She was like, I don't want this Paddington guy around. People already think we're weird, and they're just gonna think we're more weird. And she doesn't want to be seen as weird in school. So she's like, hey, Paddington, you stay away from my school, stay away from my friends, or whatever. But her friends catch wind of him like stopping this dude, and they're like, whoa, that bear's cool. And they're like, you know that bear? And she's like, yeah, I kind of do. It's like, okay. All right, lady. All right. So after that, she apologizes to him. She's like, "I'm sorry if I was mean before, but everyone likes you now, so now I like you."
Now I like, yeah, it's like literally, hey, I can get some popularity out of this. She like literally says, "Oh, it was a new school. I didn't want to come off as weird, but
Yeah,
now
I can get some clout off of this. Yeah.
I'll
So
get so many likes."
Paddington, him being so nice, he kind of was like, "Oh yeah, I get it. It's hard being in a new place." And it's kind of at this point that like everyone just starts, taking a liking to Paddington. Even the dad, he's like, "All right, this guy's he's kind of cool, but he still doesn't want him here, for another night." No. But the mom's like, "Yo, we found the guy, like, or well, we didn't find the guy, but we know where to find him." So he's like, "Can you, take Paddington to this place and find the No, this doesn't happen right away. I think what happens next is there's a taxidermist lady, and she finds out that Paddington, or that there's a
It's like
bear.
exists.
Yeah. There's a bear that's came from Peru that's in the town. So she's like, "Whoa, okay, I'm gonna have to keep my eye out on this one." So she starts kind of looking into this, and the family leaves Paddington like home alone, and he's kind of chilling out vibing, and then he ends up playing with some tape or something, and then this taxidermist lady, she like rappels in from the roof, and she's trying to like sedate him and like put him to sleep with the little dart gun thing. And somehow this dart gun doesn't need to be reloaded. Like she could just fire like 6 of them things. Like
It's mag fed, man. This is mag fed. She's got the attachments.
yeah, that's I call bullshit on that one.
She pack a punch, man.
Yeah, and this dart thing, it's it's the classic movie trope where you get pricked and immediately you're going to save it.
No circulation needed.
Yep, none whatsoever. And she's trying to get Paddington, but Paddington, he's quick with it. He's accidentally dodging all these shots, and she ends up getting her cover blown. But Paddington, he didn't get like a good look at her, so he doesn't really know what the hell he saw or who the hell that was. And the house is getting like trashed during this, and like this is really like messing with my anxiety, because like whenever like a situation like this happens in a movie where like the house is getting like trashed, and I know that there are people like that are coming home to see the house that is trashed, and I'm just like, oh my god, why? Like when the stove gets turned on, I'm like, oh no,
Oh, the house is gonna burn down. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, I thought the whole thing was gonna explode, and like I don't even know why. Like in my head, I'm just thinking about all of the damages and the amount of money that's gonna put this family in financial ruin because
That's
of what
the
is
adult in
happening.
us. Which,
Yeah.
oh my god, that's gonna cost so much to fix.
Yeah, like 100%. And luckily, not as much damage as I thought, but there was like a little fire on the table or whatever. So he gets some people to put that out, and Paddington's like telling him, he's like, "Yo, like." I think he says she's like an elephant or something. He's like, I think
Yeah,
it was
because
an
the
elephant that
gas
came
mask
here.
she had on. He's like, yeah, there's an elephant in here. She's trying to kill me. And they're like, yeah, very funny. So what happened? It's like,
Yeah,
I'm serious,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I can't even blame them for thinking he was lying, because that was kind of like insane thing to hear. I was like, yeah, elephant came through the roof and started shooting at me. So the family's like pissed, because they're not pissed, they're just disappointed, because their house is messed up, and they think he lied, and they're kind of like considering like, well, the mom and dad, they're considering like the safety of the kids. So like, yeah, we should probably get rid of him. Like it's come to this. We got
It's
no
not
choice.
gonna work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work. And then of course Paddington, he overhears it, through the advanced ventilation in their house. He could hear it from the attic, and he's like, "Oh, that's tough. All right, I'm gonna head out. I'm not even gonna let y'all make the decision for me. I'm gonna head out right now." So he's going out on a mission to find the name of the very specific person, because Montgomery Clyde is the name of the explorer. So he's going like door to door to each of these
Anybody
people.
with the last name Clyde, he's just, hello?
Yeah.
M. Clyde?
Yeah. And of course, like most people, would when they see a stranger knocking on their door, they're quick to shut it and, tune him out. Sorry. And after I'm trying to remember if there was anything in between this that the family was doing,
It mainly
or
just showed like how each of them was like dealing with his absence. Like it showed like the little girl, she's like just kind of I forget what it showed her doing. I think it was like it showed her like pictures or her like stamp wall.
yeah,
And then it showed like the little boy, he's playing with like his trains and stuff. It's just not the same without Paddington there with.
yeah.
The
Then
mom's like looking for him.
it's Mr. Curry. That's who it is. So Mr. Curry is their
Oh
neighbor
my
next
god,
door.
that dude was a simp.
Yeah, he was Mr. Curry. So basically, at the moment the bear like arrives on the scene, he's already hating.
hating.
Yeah, he's already hating. He's like, I'm not. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but y'all better get this fuck out of here, bro. Because
He's
it's
this
like, I already don't
filthy
like
animal.
y'all, and now y'all have another like animal into the family. Yeah, this is not gonna fly. So, before he was just kind of complaining the whole time, but then he bumps into the taxidermist who we later find out is Miss Clyde. So she shares the same last name as the Montgomery Clyde that Paddington's looking for. And so this is like our first kind of clue here. But he meets her, and immediately this man is in love. He's about to do anything and risk it all for this girl. Yeah, and Miss Clyde, she kind of takes notice of this, and she's like, "Oh, okay, I can use this guy. He could be my pawn here." So they kind of work together to try and capture Paddington for her because she wants to get him stuffed for the museum, and we'll find out why later. But so yeah, it's during this point they're kind of conducting a plan, and while Paddington is searching door to door, he ends up running into Miss Clyde. And she's like, "Yeah, I'll get you a new home or whatever." So, he's, very kind and gullible. So, he, of course, follows her. And this is when Mr. Clyde, he kind of sees what she's doing. He's like, "Yo, like, I thought you were going to send him back to Peru." And she's like, "Nah, I'm not sending him back. I'm about to get him stuffed."
That scene was hilarious. He's like, I thought you said you were going to find him a home. She said, no, I said I put him where he belongs. And I intend to. It's like, dude, what?
He calls her barbaric or some shit, and then I thought she was gonna do something like to him, but she was just like, "Nah, like f off. I'm doing my thing," and that was her biggest mistake because now he went to the family. He's like, "Yo, this chick got yeah." He's like, "This chick got Paddington, bro. Y'all need to go get him." So then the whole family they get word of that, and they're like, "Oh shit, we gotta go save Paddington." So then they head out to the museum, and this is where we have our third act or conclusion here. And this is when Miss Clyde kind of breaks down the background of what really happened. And basically Montgomery Clyde, he was on an expedition, and he was supposed to find a specimen to bring back to the museum and have an exhibit themed around it. But he saw how civilized the bears were, and he befriended them, and he just couldn't bring it upon himself to, bring them there just to have them killed, like he's not that kind of guy. And unfortunately, the ripple effect this had is that, their family ended up like dirt poor. Their name was, shamed, and the daughter was like, yeah, I'm gonna, redeem our family name.
And she's like, if you want to kill him, I will.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why she didn't just go find some other animal. I don't know why she had to go get like the exact bear family.
Or like
whatever.
better yet, like why was she so like upset about it? Because like it wasn't like she was upset that they disgraced my family's name. She was like, I'm upset he chose some other life over ours. Like he didn't kill them for us. Like you could just make money another way. Like I'm relax. It's not about the respect. It's about the money.
Yeah, I wonder what happened to him because she doesn't seem old enough to where he would be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's probably somewhere around. Maybe he's in Paddington too. I don't know.
See, I thought the twist was gonna be that he died to like Paddington's parents or whatever. Like they killed him, and then maybe they killed each other, and then that's why she was so mad. As you're those bears killed my dad. And then that would explain why Paddington's parents were gone. But like, no, it's just no.
Damn, that'd be super dark. That'd be
It
crazy.
would. She just goes, nah, man.
You killed my parents.
No, instead it's just, nah, I really want money. It's like, but you're already well off though. Nah, but I really want money.
Yeah, I really want that money.
I'm just thinking of it like, she's doing all this for money, but she has like spec ops gear. She has like a line to rappel down and a gas mask, smoke grenades. Like, what do you need more money for?
Yeah, where is she getting this? Where's she procuring this equipment?
She got that 007 Secret Service stuff, man.
Yeah. So, Paddington, she kind of locks him up in this like room or whatever, and then so at this point the dad kind of shows up and he, says he's got to do what a man's got to do. He's gonna man up and he's gonna climb the scaffolding to try to get where Paddington is. And this is kind of where we see, like, I guess, the fruition of his arc. Because, like you said earlier, the beginning of the movie, he's this very cautious, super careful guy. Ever since he had kids, like, from that moment, he dedicated to, like, making sure nothing happens to his family. So, in this moment, he kind of breaks back into his adventurous self and decides, like, nah, I'm gonna do what I got to do to help save Paddington, because now he's part of that family. So very sweet, very sweet. So he tries to help him, but he doesn't quite make it in time. And this is when Miss Clyde does something kind of stupid. She like turns on the incinerator, and I was like, how are you gonna stuff him if you're gonna burn him? Like, how is that
It's
gonna
like
work?
now you're just bloodlust. Like it's just I want him dead.
Yeah. And so Paddington, he's like climbing up the shaft with these like portable like vacuums or vacuum cleaners. And before he makes it like to the top, he's like almost there, about to miss. And then the family, they all jump in and grab him and pull him up. So as I said, everyone saved him at the end of the day. But then it's not over yet, because Miss Clyde is still there, and she's like, "No, run that shit. I'm trying to get you in this museum." And he's like, "All right, fine.
Have
I
a sandwich
guess."
before I can I have a sandwich
Can I have a
before I die?
sandwich? Yeah. And she's like, "All right, eat your damn sandwich." And then finally we get the payoff, the marmalade sandwich. He chucks that shit, and then all the birds that have been following him throughout the movie, they all come and attack her. And then I thought they were gonna like commit to her like dying or something, because she like
I
falls
did
off.
too. I thought she was gonna die because the old lady like knocks her off too with the
The door,
like
it's
trap door. Yeah,
yeah.
flings her back.
Yeah.
And then
But
even
no.
when it pans down to her and they show her, I thought she was gonna kill her then. 'Cause she's like, oh, at it.
Yeah. But no, she's like hanging on to like a flagpole or something like that. So she's okay. And likely she should have went to prison, but she doesn't go to prison. She goes to community service, I think, at the local gym, or not gym, sorry, zoo, to shovel some shit.
voodoo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her job now. And so she may come back in the sequel. I mean, they've left that open, definitely. And after this, the family kind of all accepts Paddington into their home, and we get that nice happy ending. They're like having a snowball fight outside, and then he chucks a snowball right at the camera, because we're all a part of the action too. And then boom, credits, and that's Paddington. It's a pretty damn good movie, I must say. Did it live up to the hype? I'm not sure. I got to see the second one. Because the second one is the one that people were really going crazy over. People like love the first one, and I could totally see why people love the first one. I think the first one is a pretty damn good movie. I would watch it again. I would show my future kids this. I would, this is one I'd definitely approve of. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I'm glad I watched it too. What would you say? What's your read on this?
So in terms of living up to the hype, I didn't know there was hype. So the movie's just a good movie to me.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no, I'd say the movie is a solid like 8.5. Really good, really simple, fun movie. It's good time.
Yeah, I was hoping I would like it, because I see these pictures of Kojima. He has like this Paddington real scale, like I don't think it's a figure. I think it's like a plush, and he just kind of has it like in his studio, and it's just the cutest thing ever. And I was like, damn, I want one, but I was like, I don't want to be a poser. Like, let me watch these
Just,
movies,
wanna
then I
copy it.
can get one. Yeah, exactly.
Copy without seeing the material.
Yeah, because I just always thought Paddington was cute. Like, I was like, I wanted Paddington. Why not? Like, he's just really cool looking.
Yeah, his mannerisms only improve it too. 'Cause he just
100%.
acts adorable.
So this episode was on the shorter side. I didn't want to, drag it on too much, especially since we're doing it back to back. So next week we're gonna do Paddington 2 to see if that one lives up to that, because that's the one I have some high expectations for. I need to see what the hype about this Paddington 2 is, and but yeah, expect in the future. Maybe not necessarily like with this one. This one was more so, I wanted to have, a new experience for me too. But in the future, I'm definitely going to try to, put some movies out there that I know we would have a lot to talk about that he hasn't seen. So that way he could check it out. Because I do want to get his input on some of these movies. But yeah, Paddington 1, it's a good movie. Let's see if Paddington 2 is just as good, if not better. So without further ado, we'll see you all next week. Hopefully you enjoyed this short little bite-sized episode. And yeah, this has been Hindsight. See you later.
Everybody take care.
Paddington's the best thing that's ever happened to the children.
Hot wind, 2 hot winds, but I like it. Well, I hope I don't look weird.
It doesn't matter that he's a different species, or that he has a worrying marmalade habit. Paddington's family. Paddington, come in.